When it comes to free agency, the Knicks have been one of the best teams. Jordan Clarkson, Gerson Yabusele, and they also have another extra roster spot for another veteran on a vet minimum contract. The Knicks are extremely limited with the players they can add to this team. But even though that's the case, it really doesn't matter for Leon Rose. He is going to find talent and add them to this team in a way nobody expected. Adding Gerson Yabusele, one of the most desired big men on the free agency market right now. The Knicks were able to sign him for a little bit less than the full taxpayer mid-level exception. They beat out the Sixers because the Philadelphia 76ers lowballed Gerson Yabusele, offered him, I think, $2.6 million, essentially the vet minimum for him. That makes no sense given his impact, but that doesn't matter for New York. The Knicks, all they're focused on is making championship level moves. That's why they hired Mike Brown. That's why they signed Jordan Clarkson. That's why they signed Gerson Yabusele. And that's why they're continuing to make moves in the offseason that nobody thought they could pull off. And there's still another move coming. The Knicks freed up a veteran spot for another vet minimum contract with all the moves and the reworking of Gerson Yabusele's deal and everything like that. Leon Rose and this Knicks front office was responsible for that move. And now they're likely going to make another addition to this roster that's going to help this Knicks team get better next season. I'm not sure who they're going to add. All the reports out there are indicating the Knicks are looking at veteran guards to add to this roster. But hopefully that's a smokescreen. And hopefully it's a smokescreen to the entire league so they can look at the guard market and the Knicks will be free to look at the wing market. But speaking about markets, let's talk about free agency for a second, because the number one question I always get asked is, what players are currently available that the Knicks can sign to that vet minimum contract? So let's break down all the players that are available that the Knicks can sign right now. And also the main player that I believe the Knicks must sign immediately, because if they do, he'll be an incredible upgrade to their bench. Shout out the Sleeper Knicks on the app X for giving us this following information. According to them, free agents still available the Knicks can target with their vet minimum contract: Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, Gary Payton II, Amir Kofi, Chris Boucher. Let me say that again. Chris Boucher. Let me say it one more time for everybody in the back. Chris Boucher is available for the vet minimum. Let that sink in for just a second. Going back to the list, Malcolm Brogdon, Delonte Baton, Trey Lyles, Javonte Green, DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, and Seth Curry. Currently, these are all the available free agents the Knicks can go after and target with that vet minimum contract. And on that list, we saw a couple of players that I would love to sign here. I would love to be part of the New York Knicks organization. Russell Westbrook, he is definitely one of them. Unfortunately, with playing time not being available in New York, I don't think that's going to happen. The other player I like is Seth Curry. I love his shooting, and we definitely need a three-point shooter, maybe even a three-point specialist off the bench. The problem is his size and also likely his lack of defense. We need somebody a little bit bigger who can shoot and also defend at an extremely high level. And on that list, there's not that many players available that matches that description. Not exactly. However, if you look at the wings listed on that, then you'll understand where I'm coming from. I said a name about 3 times during this video. Chris Boucher. Why? 6'9". Some list him at 6'8". Either way, tall. He can defend. He can shoot. He's aggressive. And he has chemistry and history with OG Anunoby, one of the best players on this Knicks team. Out of everybody on that list, and there's a lot of players to like on that list. Even Amir Kofi, you like him too. And I don't mind if the Knicks go in that direction, or even a Malcolm Brogdon. However, if we're looking at that entire list, you have to look at all players available and what they're going to offer. And all of those players, they're great in their own way. But Chris Boucher, he offers so many things that the Knicks need right now. Think about this. Who's backing up OG Anunoby? Who's playing for him when he needs a rest? Because really, the Knicks are going to have to makeshift a player to back up OG Anunoby. But if you get Chris Boucher, you steal him in free agency for the vet minimum. And if you sign him for the vet minimum, you are stealing that man. Let's get that straight. And if you steal him, you have an automatic backup for OG. He fits this Knicks team and exactly what we're trying to do. He's still available, and no other team, for some reason, wants to sign him. It's like a sign right now. New York, Leon, pick up the phone and sign this man. He deserves to be signed. He's one of the best players on that list. But if you can't, or you refuse to sign a wing, looking back at this list again, like I said, I like Westbrook. I like Gary Payton II. Amir Kofi is nice as well, too. I just gave you a monologue about Chris Boucher. We talked about Malcolm Brogdon before. I like DeLon Wright coming back. Seth Curry, I really like, even though he has size issues. And then Landry Shamet. And you guys already know how I feel about Shamet. If you really want a guard to come back, why not target the guard that once the regular season ended, he was the best three-point shooter on the team. And in the postseason, once he was utilized correctly, he was a great defender, a great shooter, and he helped the Knicks win a few games, get a few points, and seal some games that maybe we wouldn't have if he was not playing. This is exactly the type of players the Knicks need to look to add. And if you're not going to add the wings that we need, then by all means, go ahead and add a guard that you feel that we need on this team. But on that list, there's not that many available that would choose to come here, not even for the vet minimum, but also for the lack of playing time. We're going to have to factor that in. That's why, in my head, it's Chris Boucher. And if I can't get him, I'll look at the guard market for Landry Shamet, maybe Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, players like that. You may not like those players, but each one of them brings something that the Knicks need right now immediately. They specialize in something that can help the Knicks moving forward, especially next season when we're trying to get to the NBA Finals. We have a championship in our minds. We're making championship level moves. And this last bet spot that we have open for the vet minimum contract, you best believe Leon Rose and this Knicks front office, they're going to make sure they add somebody extremely impactful. But what about you guys? What do you think about the Knicks and all of the moves that they're making right now in the offseason? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.